I am making cry wolf soup. Well, I am the cry wolf, and I am a cry wolf from your point of view. There are abominators to myself. I am only a cry wolf in the order. That means I'm not a cry wolf unless I am the soul of the superior founder deceased, or that I am myself none higher than he deceased. You cannot be a cry wolf unless you are none higher than he deceased. If you are not myself, if you are not none higher than he deceased, you are a cry wolf to somebody you don't know. And that's not none higher than he deceased doing that. And that is non-negotiable money in America. The identity thieving goes very far in the wrong of myself. I don't ensure that you made a speech offense. By that I remember what it was, and I paid for it with what I needed for myself, was appointed to myself, and you're not myself. There is no real substitute for that. It occupies my mind, and pollution of my Godhead is unavoidable if you're not in jail and prison with deceased address and you are in prejudice to be a problem. That's being a problem inside of a prison with deceased address. Everything you do in public, I don't want to ensure that with myself. I don't want to ensure that you wake up in the morning. I don't want to ensure that you go missing with shunning. I don't want to ensure that you're in a car, high-speed traffic accident. I don't want to ensure that you made a speech offense to somebody who's not myself and I don't know what it is. I'm not your mother. I'm also not yourself. Even if I was your mother, I would not be yourself to yourself. And you are responsible for what you say out of your mouth, not just who and where you said it. And that you take hostages. You're due in prison for that problem. So that somebody who is a hostage can also be threatening you with the same gun. In public, you threaten that the guns are in traffic, and you threaten anybody with any gun, anywhere, at any time, including by any call to the police. I see the police on the internet frustrated. They post videos on the internet just like I do, and the police are not doing what they should be doing for themselves to be in jail and prison so that they're not on the internet in police uniforms. Those are doing jail and prison. If you're on the internet with a police uniform, please take your uniform and pack it in shipping containers and ship it to a prison. If you can't get in there to be with your uniform, the uniform belongs in a prison and it owns the prison and it stays there. A cry wolf gave me this pot with a lid, saying that's for that I have this pot with a lid that was broken by somebody named Charles Toe, who is also a cry wolf, but not to the cry wolf. That means Charles Toe is not a cry wolf, to Mitch Moser is a cry wolf, to Donna Moser is a cry wolf. You're not myself, you don't have the world deceased and threatening. You cannot be a cry wolf because you don't want to identify yourself to your own self and to your own God and be in a mortuary, in a prison with deceased address. If I don't state the order, you're going to threaten me that I'm going to jail and prison because I said something that upset your cry wolf habitat. You're not myself. You're not a cry wolf in prejudice. What are you trying to avoid? The prejudice that puts you straight in a prison in permanent cry in a mortuary. Permanently. Because you are yourself. I'm not barking like a dog. I'm shouting like God. I'm not going to cry again. You are going to a mortuary. You're going to cry yourself in a prison mortuary with deceased address locked up for eternity.